Hello everyone, Ray here. The Pixel XL is definitely one of the very best camera phones when it comes to low-light performance and the dynamic range. However, here we've got the Mate 9 and the Mate 9 Pro. They are from Huawei, but they've got a Leica dual lens setup, which brings us to this question: which is the best camera phone on the market, and which is the better bet for your money? Let's find out. Before we dig any deeper, let's have a little comparison between their build quality and the overall design. I've been using them for months now. They are no longer flashy, but customized or scratched instead. You guys can tell from the matte black skin on the Pixel XL. Speaking of the Pixel XL, the reasonably thin or thick chassis, together with those rounded corners and the slightly curved edges, also the manageable 5.5 inches form factor, it is indeed comfortable to hold even with one hand. In the meantime, the design might not be that attractive or outstanding, but the build quality is again the best out of the three. The glass panels meeting the metal chassis seamlessly smooth, unlike the plastic frame we've found on the iPhone or the Mate 9 and the Mate 9 Pro. It is also IP53, kind of water or rain droplets resistant. While the Mate 9, it is undoubtedly the largest phablet out of the three, thanks to the 5.9 inches display. One-hand operation is impossible. The antenna bands on the back, however, tell it is from China. You will have to look for a third-party case to cover that later on. But generally speaking, it feels cool to touch and metallic. The super slim bezels also worth some applause for that amazing build quality. While the Mate 9 Pro shares the same 5.5 inches form factor as the Pixel XL, however, the brushed aluminum finish and the coating on top make it stand out from the crowd. Not to mention that futuristic dual curve display. It is not comparable to the S7 Edge when it comes to the gradient of the curves, but it does get the job done in capturing the refraction of lights on the two sides. If you are into that flashy and shiny lifestyle, the Mate 9 Pro definitely suits your style. Overall, the Pixel XL is smoother to hold with one hand. The Mate 9 Pro captures others' eyeballs, while the Mate 9 simply needs a case. Hardware-wise, the Mate 9 and the Mate 9 Pro pack fingerprint sensors which are equally fast. The Pixel XL, however, lags behind significantly. But they do function the same: unlock the phone, pull down or roll back the notification panel. The Mate 9 in the meantime takes a step further. It browses images forward or backwards, in the Gallery app as well. Coming to the bottom side, all of them pack a USB Type-C port with USB on-the-go support, and also the microphone. The microphone, the Mate 9 is the clear winner. It records in stereo mode, the left channel and the right channel. It is indeed crystal clear and the bass is rich. The Mate 9 series also got an IR blaster for easier remote control, while the Mate 9 Pro packs 2 SIM card slots. The Mate 9, in contrast, in the UK it supports only single SIM, but microSD expansion is indeed handy. The Pixel, neither microSD expansion nor dual SIM network, but unlimited Google Photos backup instead. Do you prefer unlimited cloud storage or expandable storage on board? Comment below. Here we've come to the performance and features. If you are super conscious about getting the latest and purest build of Android, the Pixel is already updated to Android 7.1.1. Meanwhile, the Pixel launcher of course delivers its best on the Pixel. Features like long press, we won't find it on the Mate 9. Features including multi-window that supports loads of third-party apps, motion gestures that wake the phone up when you lift it up, also double tap to wake. Oh, don't forget the next-gen AI assistant, Google Assistant, also exclusive to the Pixels right now, until the G6 from LG. The Mate 9 series, on the other hand, packs much more useful but also unnecessary features, like the floating dock. Drawing alphabets to quickly launch apps like C for camera, M for music, and W for weather, however, is a fabulous feature. The same gesture can also be used to capture a selected area on the screen as a screen capture, and boom, a single swipe on the middle of the display, multi-window. The Mate 9 series also got native support for screen recording, while always on display is only found on the Mate 9 Pro, which boasts an AMOLED display. The difference remains huge when it comes to the performance. The Mate 9 series packs a slightly more powerful Kirin 960 processor compared to the Snapdragon 821 on the Pixel XL. The leap is definitely noticeable, even when it's handling simple day-to-day tasks. We are comparing the Mate 9 to the Pixel XL due to they are both rocking 4 gigs of RAM. The Pixel XL is already snappy and responsive thanks to pure Android, but according to the standard app's opening speed test, let the same app list run across all the tested devices. The Mate 9 and the Mate 9 Pro are the top dogs. Meanwhile, they hold up really well when it comes to multitasking. RAM management, even on the 4 gigs of RAM Pixel XL and the Mate 9 keep all the background apps in memories like nothing. The Pixel XL in the meantime performs a lot better in terms of the smoothness while switching between apps, thanks to the latest update. But according to the second round of our test, the Mate 9 series is still the king in real-world performance. It becomes a whole different story when it comes to gaming performance though. Backed with the same hardware the Mate 9 does, the Mate 9 Pro has to deal with a Quad HD 2K display. Demanding games like Perfect Angle are barely playable, but not enjoyable for sure on the Mate 9 Pro. Frame drops are here and there. The 1080p based Mate 9, however, delivers top-notch experience, while the Adreno GPU on the Pixel XL's got nothing to worry about, thankfully. Alright, which is the best camera phone on the market? The Leica dual lens setup on the Mate 9 series backed with optical image stabilization and laser autofocus this time around. Single lens mode shoots 20 megapixels pictures, while dual lens mode shoots in 12 megapixels. The lens on the Pixel XL, however, is not stabilized optically. EIS on this guy works surprisingly well, however, more on that in a minute. It's also got laser autofocus and massive 1.55 microns pixels. Before we directly compare the image quality, the Mate 9 packs much more features in its camera app. Monochrome, time-lapse, slow motion, document scanning, all those stuffs. Also don't forget the light painting mode. Pictures like these are mental. The Mate 9's also got full control for the camera, manual shutter speed, white balance, manual focus and ISO etc. With all the settings you can basically shoot all kind of pictures, like these. And if you are really into bokeh, the dual lens setup on the Mate 9 is designed for you. Choosing from f0.95 to f16, f4 gives the most natural images, and the effect is indeed impressive. Speaking of impressive, after a few years of evolution, the lens blur mode on the Pixel XL shows similar depth of field effect. The major flaws only the slightly awkward gesture that you lift the phone up a bit to finish a shot. Alright, here we've come to the image quality comparison. Yep, the Mate 9 lacks auto HDR, backlight scenes or scenes with complicated light sources. You are required to trigger HDR by yourself. It gets the job done with outstanding dynamic range and clarity, but when it comes to user-friendliness, on the Pixel XL you just fire up the camera app and you're good to go. Image quality though, under broad daylight they performed really close, much closer than I've expected. Details are identically sharp, colors are vibrant, with perfect dynamic range. The Pixel XL, however, tends to underexpose a bit to achieve even better details in the highlights. Other major difference would be the white balance, also the unique Leica-style color scheme on the Mate 9 series. But for dynamic range and clarity, they are really close. Okay, this particular shot we can tell the Pixel XL is still the king in dynamic range. Night photography in contrast, the colors from the Mate 9 really pop, and handle the contrast quite differently from other smartphones. The sky is purely black instead of the grey, kind of dark but still bright sky on the Pixel XL. The Pixel shoots unbelievably bright images even in extreme environment, but the Mate 9 shoots DSLR-like artistic photos. Meanwhile, you can get the best possible low-light performance with manual mode on the Mate 9. Look at the details. The Pixel XL is simply not there. Video stabilization on the Mate 9 is also unexpectedly great. Optical image stabilization together with the aid of electronic stabilization, the Mate 9 shoots as stable footages as the Pixel XL, simply one of the best camcorders on the market. Multimedia experience, we are talking 5.5 inches Quad HD AMOLED display on both the Pixel XL and the Mate 9 Pro. There's not much a difference for the vibrant color, terrific pure deep black, also the more natural warmer, closer to 6500K white balance. Meanwhile, the 5.9 inches IPS display attracts our eyeballs in a completely different direction. It is brighter, with a cooler white balance, slightly less saturated but still vibrant. Oh, of course it is an IPS display, light bleeding is unavoidable. You will find the display on the Pixel XL much warmer with much more punchy colors within seconds, and it is a 1080p display. But the huge display definitely lifts up video watching and gaming experience. Speaking of video watching, the dual speaker setup on the Mate 9 and the Mate 9 Pro takes up the earpiece. It is much crisper with stronger bass and dual speaker. 3.5mm audio output in the meantime. Close, but the Mate 9 edges out the Pixel XL with slightly higher definition on the high frequencies, but not by a huge margin. All three of them deliver mainstream flagship experience closer to the S7. Nowhere come close to the V20 and the HTC 10. Last but one of the most essential parts of a smartphone, the battery life. The Mate 9 and the Mate 9 Pro pack a ridiculous 4000 mAh battery on such a slim chassis. According to the standard battery life test, the Mate 9 Pro tops with 65% of the battery left after 4 hours of YouTube videos playback with a maximum screen brightness. The Pixel XL and the Mate 9 lag behind in this test, but for the more all-rounded media consumption battery life test, after 3 hours of media consumption, the gap between the Mate 9 and the Mate 9 Pros narrowed to just 4%, while the Pixel XL drained 14% more of the battery than the Mate 9 Pro. Also, don't forget the whopping 22.5W groundbreaking super-fast charging on the Mate 9 series. So, which is the best bet for your money? Of course, it depends on personal preference and needs, but the Pixel XL sits the most comfortably in hands. The Mate 9 Pro shines with a curvy and flashy design, while the Mate 9 simply get a case. The Pixel XL receives the next build of Android first, while the Mate 9 series packs more features with slightly faster performance. The camera. The Mate 9 series shoots DSLR-like photos with colors that really pop and a unique color scheme. The Pixel in contrast shoots bright and saturated photos with auto mode in all scenarios. Multimedia experience. You will love the dual speaker setup on the Mate 9 series. And finally, all of them deliver more than satisfactory battery life with fast charging technology, but the Mate 9 series edges out the Pixel XL in this area. Which is the better pick for you? Comment below. So that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed watching this comparison. Like it if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Oh, don't forget there are 2 videos for you to click to watch next. See you next time.